Hello and welcome to this Battle Report, and today I will give a good friend an introductory game of BoltACtion, and we will play 750 points, and BoltACtion is kinda exploding in our local game group. A lot of 40k players are having fun with the minis here. A friend got himself some Chindits and the British Army. And yeah, they're playing, as you can see, beautifully. On this side, Mario, who got his starter army with the German Grenadiers. If you want to see the battle report, check out the links at the end of the video or up here. And Berkan, who has now his British army. And on the other table, I'm giving Alex an introductory game, and we're playing 750 points. And as you can see, he is playing the Soviets. That's the army he chose. He is also a Russian, I think, and it fits so. And I'm bringing today the Germans. So yeah, wait a second. Let me show you from the beginning. So our terrain, okay, the church I've built. Yeah, a lot of tables. I think this was the first time 6 people were playing on 3 tables, BoltACtion, and usually it's all 40k stuff. But today it's a lot of BoltACtion. As you can see, we got some new terrain here, beautiful houses, just looks pretty amazing. Yeah, great stuff. The scenery is really important for BoltACtion, and this one not only looks great, it can be also um, taken apart. And yeah, I'm not so much into the metal minis, but Berkan loves them, and I hope they will serve him well. I will play against him tomorrow. And yeah, I think they were playing 650 points only infantry. That's okay for a beginner's game. And so now let's get to the game with Alex. So here's Jack building a list for Alex, and I was putting together a bit of the terrain. And here you can see Alex army, I think 750 points. He got infantry only. I don't know why, but a good friend built him his list, and it looks amazing. It just looks amazing. As you can see, some of the guys have hammers and Molotov cocktails. Some men are unarmed. Um, and yeah, what is Alex bringing today? I don't know. I think there are 2 officers. One is a commissar, and I think these are SMG scouts, I think, with forward deploy, and then a 12-man unit of regular Russian soldiers. And I have to say, the Russians have the national rule that you can re-roll the morale test if they fail it on a pin, or when they take half casualties. No, when they take half casualties and you roll if they want to flee. If they fail, you can re-roll. And I thought it was a trash rule, but it really isn't. It is a good rule. It will save Alex a lot of troops today. And here, this is what I brought. 750 points. So let's start back here. 1 officer, inexperienced. Regular dudes just with rifles. German paratroopers or Fallschirmjäger, all equipped with Sturmgewehre, or the STG-44. Then I have a 5-man team just with rifles. Wait a second, I think these 5 men are Osttruppen, 20 points inexperienced, just to hold objectives. Then we have here the platoon leader of the heavy weapons team. We have 1 mortar with a spotter, 1 MMG team, 1 sniper. This guy is called Fritz. And no, wait, these are the Osttruppen. These are my shirkers for 20 points. And I think these are just 5 men with rifles. And this is my command vehicle, the Panzer III Ausfahrt F, I guess. He has two coaxial MMGs, a light anti-tank cannon, an MMG in the front, and the good old 222 with the autocannon and the MMG. And yeah, here they are, again presented in their full beauty. Again, these are my Osttruppen, 20 points, Fritz, my heavy weapons platoon, um, 5 dudes with rifles, 7 dudes paratroopers stubborn with STGs, 7 or 8 men, 7 men with all rifles, and an unexperienced again. Yeah, and I think this is a 12-man squad. Yeah, 12-man squad of Russian infantry. Um, yeah, what much to say other than you look beautiful. Here you have some Siberian veterans or scouts, I don't know. Um, yeah, pretty awesome troops. And yeah, how many dice? I think 10 to 11 dice. Everybody brought something like that. Ah, and this guy brought dog mines. So I think the way it works is that you have a dog mine, and on 18 inches, they have an 18-inch bubble, and they will find their way beneath the tank and then explode. I think that's the rules. Yeah, here some Jack sent me some of the pictures so I could watch for the new guy the rules and everything he needed to know. Beautiful troops, like looks amazing. So let's get into the game. Yeah, the terrain. Because everybody was already playing, we got what was left over, and as you can see, in the middle there's a church. We have a hill, 2 cornfields, a bunch of ruins, churches, and something like that. And Alex starts with his forward deploy, and he deploys his SMG guys in the middle of the board, out of sight, behind line of sight blocking terrain. And I put up my spotter at the end of the board just because usually nobody reaches him there. He puts his second SMG guys behind the church, and I put my sniper somewhere in the hills overseeing the whole map. And I got the first order dice and I fire on his on this squad. I can see some of the guys peeking out, and I think I managed to kill one or put a pin on them. So then the officer, his officer, I think the female as his commissar, runs from the board on his table edge. They want to, yeah, kind of. I think he wants to overrun me if he can. I advance with my MMG team and shoot at something. I don't know if I can see something right now. And then he gets the next dice and he's running towards me with his 12-man squad of dudes. Everything is storming. I mean, he's playing enemy at the gates. He's kind of storming the table edge. Here he's storming the right table edge. Here he was storming. Here he was storming the right table edge. Here he's storming the left table edge. And then I advance in with my Panzer III and hopefully shoot at something. Put a few pins here and there. And then we take a break and eat George Clooney pizza. George Clooney in Germany on the pizza. Yeah, after the pizza, we resume to play. And my STG guys run behind some terrain pieces and the Panzer III. And yeah, I try to shield them. They are my punch. Then the 222 joins the party, and I think he will take aim at something. Here I got 5 rifle dudes just behind cover. And wait a second, what's here? Yeah, here's the church. So this is the middle of the board, and he's starting to run towards my man. And yeah, as you can see here, this is the orientation. This is his side of the board, and this is my side of the board. And because we didn't have other terrain, we said that this was line of sight blocking terrain, like in 40K, because otherwise it would have been unfair to him. I think this is his second game or is one of his first games. So we're just getting a hang of the game, and I'm showing him what he can do, what he cannot do. And so he's advancing and hoping maybe to charge my sniper on this hill. Or maybe he can advance here and shoot up some of my teams. As you can see, I did put my mortar up here. Here's my sniper, a lone officer, inexperienced. So maybe he can advance on the hill or maybe run here or something. But this is definitely a weak flank. And this is how it looks. This is the enemy at the gates. Again, he's flooding here the board, but I have brought a bit more armor, and I think his Siberian, no, his anti-dog mines are here and here. So he brought them in to counter my armor. And his forward deploy is kind of stalling because I have too many men here, and he has too little to throw towards these guys. But he's determined to run up that board, like he saw in the movie Enemy at the Gates. And so some people don't want to stand up because they have a pin on them, but the officer, this one, shouts at them, shoots one, and they start running and obeying. Yeah, it's the female commissar that gets the Russian moving. And yeah, what's happening? Okay, I'm just shooting a few pictures of the board. Yeah, I think I advance my tank. I don't bully him too much because I just wrote a balanced list because he's a beginner. My goal was to bring a mortar, a tank, an armored car, some veterans, some inexperienced, just to show him around. And Jack wrote him a list, and he wrote him a list without tanks and without mortars because Alex wanted to play infantry only. And so that's what he got. But I advance up with my tank, and I think I shoot with my MMGs, something like that. And I think he goes down and he learns the down order. But I think I put a few pins on these guys. And what he does next is good because he advances with his dog mines and he lets, I think, 2 or 3 of the dogs run. And on a 1, they will hit his own tanks. He doesn't have any. On a 2 and 3, nothing will happen. The dogs will just get lost or, just do their dog things. And on a 4, 5, and 6, they will find the tank, hop underneath the tank and explode there. I think with a 5 penetration. But I advanced, and so he hits only on a 6+. But he manages to hit me with his dogs, so he advances, but he just manages to, I think on a 6+, he somehow manages to penetrate, and I get 2 pins, and I think I'm immobilized at that point. Like my tank cannot move, and I didn't see those guys anymore, but I should have had a keen eye on them. So the following turn or the following activation, I just turn my turret and I think I hose them down with the dual MMG from my turret, and my front MMG goes into his troops right here. And yes, that you can get a better view of the situation. Looks amazing. My STG guys are moving up, and my officer 2 inexperienced, and we're shooting at the veterans or at the scouts that had the SMGs. And as you can see, they take 3 pins, they go down in soft cover, and yeah, they get hammered. And what's happening here with the tank? Oh yeah, I think right here when I activated it again, we entered turn 2. And he now decides to charge the tank. I don't know if he has anti-tank weapons, but I think he has anti-tank mines. So he manages to charge, and my tank didn't move. And if it doesn't move on a 4-up, like you get 3 dice for each guy, and on a 4-up they do a wound. And then you roll a d6, and that d6 gets added to how many wounds these guys do, and then you let's say you roll a 6 and these 3 guys do all a wound, then you have a 9, and this tank has 9 plus armor, and then you would glance it. I think that's somehow the math, but I don't think that he penetrates it, but he yeah. With his other team, he tries to blow up my 222. I think he gets 1 hit, but he doesn't manage to kill it, so he charges it too with this anti-dock guys, and I think he immobilizes this car too. So pretty cool action. On the right flank, I have my guys with rifles only, and I advance, and I think, do I have an LMG in this? I think I don't have an LMG, but I'm just pinning up the enemy with rifles. 24 inches is sometimes all you need, and these guys are taking losses. They are getting dialed in by the mortar. They're getting pinned up, and they don't want to move. But wait a second, what's this? These are my dice. I'm throwing a dice, and I'm hitting a bunch of 5s and 6s. So what's up with that? Yeah, I don't know, but a pretty important roll. I don't know. I think I'm shooting with rifles, and I'm hitting almost everything. Sometimes it's luck, and yeah, they try to advance. I think he does a snap too, and they advance brave as they are with their 2 pins. I think the female commissar had to shoot again a guy, and they are now closing in. And these guys are getting pins, I think, from these rifles. And yeah, I think this team got almost wiped. My mortar fires and hits the guys that they are dialed in on these guys, and as you can see, they are pinned up, and they have taken a lot of casualties, and yeah, they are just trying to get kind of through. Here's some Siberian veterans with rifles advance and shoot at what? Like here, there's a dog mine and also a baby wagon with a bomb. And yeah, and now we're checking the distance. Oh, here, this is the second dog team. Yeah, can't really tell what's happening here. Here the next SMG guys advance, and I think hose down my 5-man team. And yeah, and these guys are on the move. I think they're on the move, losing pins. They have their officer behind them, bravely pushing forward in the face of, yeah, I don't want to say defeat, but it looks a bit grim. But the tides are start to turn for the Russian player, and I think I advance and fire, and here everybody's ganging up on this 222 and just putting pins on this car. He fails to activate, and a female commissar drives the man. And yeah, I have lost 5 dices, and he has lost none of his. Like, it looks pretty bad right now, And wait, I think the following is happening. I was shooting up his troops, but he had enough men to sustain all the wounds. And when I took half of the team, he failed that morale check. Then, because he fights with the Russians and they have something called For the Motherland or something like that, they reroll and they stayed on the table, while I kept on losing my mortar team. I don't know to what, or my MMG team. My certain guys I was losing, and I lost 5 dice, and so the Russians won. Yeah, that's kind of what happened. And yeah, I think Alex was happy, and he's now a happy, bold action Russian player. And welcome to the new team. See ya.